What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Card presented by TRHS Sports. We are here for episode number 16, and today is going to sound a little bit like a repeat of Wednesday's episode before all the NBA games ended up being canceled. I have a lot of the same bets because today is the same slate. More importantly than the NBA bets, though, college football is back. That's right. College football is back. If you didn't know, because it's not exactly Alabama versus LSU, we have Austin Peay taking on Central Arkansas. That's going to be the first college football game of the season. Everybody is going to be betting on it. If you follow me over on betonphilwood.com, you know what my take already is on the game, and it is sound and it is scientific, and it makes 110% total sense. So, I'm going to go through a bunch of games. I have a lot today. If you followed me on my website, you already know I like the Lightning. I'm not going to put that one on the card today just because it takes off in 25 minutes. Most of you probably who are listening to this aren't going to be able to get that one in on time anyway. So hopefully you follow me over my website, betonphilwood.com, and you will have gotten the Lightning as a favorite today going up against the Boston Bruins. I really like them in this one. All right. Here's what I like so far for today. So I'm going to start with the NBA, considering it's the same things as pretty much before. Russell Westbrook is back. So one bet that I'm not doing is OKC's points. I had them at +3 on Wednesday. OKC is back. So I am not going to take, sorry, there's a dog behind me. So if it starts barking, I apologize. We're in different quarters than I'm normally in, different spot than I normally record. But I'm not going to take OKC at +5. I want to see what Russell Westbrook is actually able to do. So in that game, what I have is Chris Paul still over 20.5, and PJ Tucker's over has dropped to 6.5. Now, a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that that Russell Westbrook is back and playing, but I think the Rockets score some points. And as I said the last time, PJ Tucker is going to shoot threes whether Russell Westbrook is on the court or not. He's going to take about 5 or 6 threes every game at least, and I like him to go out there, drain at least 2 of those, maybe get to the foul line once, and I think he goes over the 6.5 easily. So PJ Tucker over 6.5 is a really easy bet, I think. And Chris Paul over 20.5 is another easy one. It's the only way OKC is staying in this game. The first game of the day, though, is the Milwaukee-Orlando game. I'm still going to stick with the under of 227.5, and I'm still going to stick with Vucevic over 23.5. Nothing has changed there. What I'm curious to see, though, is going to be what ends up happening with these teams playing now. We saw them take 3 days off, and we don't have anything to base this off of. We never had another time in our history where players just didn't play because of social justice issues, and because of that, I don't really know how to handicap this. So I'm going to assume that all things are equal except for the fact that Russell Westbrook is playing. And all the bets I liked on Wednesday, they shouldn't have changed between then and now. Vucevic is going to be the only player that can really keep Orlando in this game. So I like him to go over 23.5. I like the under in that game because, like I said, the first 2 games barely went over. So I do like that one going over. All these NBA bets are something that everybody's already really heard about. So if you've been listening, religiously over here, then you know my reasoning for these. And the last one is Melo over 17.5. I think Melo's got to score the points against the Lakers tonight. I mean, CJ McCollum can't do it all alone. Yusuf Nurkic is kind of outmanned down low. Even when he plays well, he's still outmanned. So I like Melo over 17.5 to kind of pick up the slack for Damian Lillard. He's already been around that number anyway. I think he had 16 and 20 in his last 2 games. So I like him to go over 17.5 here. I know this is a lot of NBA bets. I know I'm running through this very quickly, but I've already talked about them really in depth on Wednesday's episode and why I like them so much. So I'm really not going to do a lot of that here. I've already done it, and I still like it. So this is 5 NBA bets for the day. It was originally 6 on Wednesday. Like I said, I don't like the OKC spread. I don't like the Lakers-Blazers spread at all. I think that one's very, very dangerous, so I'm going to stay away from that one. And that's what I have for the NBA. So I hope that makes sense. If you need a little bit more thorough explanation, go check out Wednesday's podcast. I explain it very thoroughly why I like all of them. All right, I'm going to go to the MLB because it's the earliest game of the day, and I know I see it. I see it in the chat. I see Mike DeMasi. I don't know. My Mets swept your Yankees yesterday. They absolutely did, and that's why I'm taking the Yankees today. Yankees at +100. The Yankees are falling apart, and they are in danger of falling out of the playoffs right now. If the playoffs were to start today, they're barely in, hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Toronto is breathing down their neck. Even the Orioles aren't too far behind them. Yankees at +100. I don't see them getting swept in this series. I like them to find a way. Jay Happ is pitching. He's not great. There's no denying that. But I do like him to come in and get the job done. And for the second game, I'm doing another MLB bet because I've wanted to do this my entire life. I know it's only a 7. It's only a 7-inning game, but I'm going to take The Twins -1.5 against Matthew Boyd. Please, for the love of God, let Matthew Boyd pitch. Let the man out of his cage, and let him get out there on the mound. I love him. He's the best. He's such a bad pitcher, and he's going against Randy Dobnak, who is great. So I love the Twins here at -1.5 at +114. I think that's a really good bet. I'm going to stay away from the over-under here. If I was betting, I'd probably go over 7 runs, just because I think Matthew Boyd could give up 6 himself, and Dobnak probably gives up at least 1. This is one of those games, again, where because the first game of a doubleheader, if the Twins can get all 7 innings out of Dobnak, they will. So I really, really like them to get this one done, not try to go to their bullpen too early, and just win this game against Matthew Boyd and his terrible, terrible pitching. So that game's at 10:15 a.m. here on the West Coast. So those are my 2 bets. They're both plus bets, both mini underdogs. Yankees to win, Twins -1.5. Yankees are at +100, Twins are at +114. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the NHL now. And this is, again, like, these are bets that I all really liked last time, and now I'm just moving them around. I already said I like the Lightning. They're -103. They're actually not favored against the Bruins, but the Bruins have a serious goaltending issue, and therefore I like the Lightning to get it done. They are playing with all the momentum right now. But the other games, I'm actually going to play stuff on the card. I'm going to start with the Islanders. They're -114 over the Flyers, and I really love them here. I mean, the Flyers came out and scored 3 goals in the first period of game 2, and the Islanders fought all the way back and played really, really well and got themselves back into the hunt. They ended up tying it, and then it sent it to overtime, and the Flyers ended up pulling it out. But by my estimation, the Islanders have outplayed the Flyers in 5 of the 6 periods if you throw out overtime. 5 of the 6 periods in this series, and in overtime it was so short anyway. The Flyers got the goal, so they outplayed them. But I don't think that that necessarily means in that you just get one bad bounce and it's all over. The Islanders have been outplaying the Flyers like crazy. I think they come out. I think they win this game pretty easily. All right, and then for the last game, I have the Vancouver Canucks, Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are -200, which is such a big number. Now, look, I like the Golden Knights to win this, but if you're looking for an underdog bet, that's just a really good price right now. Take the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, they're +168. What is going on? They took it to Vegas, and I'm not saying Vegas isn't the better team, but I do like the Canucks to win this series. And I think if you can get them at +168, that's a really good number. For record keeping purposes, I almost don't want to put it on, but that number just keeps growing. It was down at +130 to start, and now it's all the way up to +168. I feel like people are inflating the Golden Knights a lot. And remember, the Golden Knights had a lot of rest going into game 1, and the Canucks had none. And now I know both teams have rest. I think this rest might have been really good for the Canucks. The Canucks needed a couple of days off. So I'm actually going to go and do this because the number just keeps going up. I'm going to take the Canucks at +168. It's just too much to pass up. And this is one of those, like, I go into this one and I say, I'm probably, there's like a 45% chance I win, meaning there's a 55% chance I don't. Okay, so is that a good bet? Maybe not, but because of the odds we're getting here on a game that they could easily pull out, I don't understand why it's so expensive. +168 is just totally disrespectful to the Vancouver Canucks. So I like the Canucks here, but I really love the under in this game. That's the big one, is the under. The goals are at 6, and look, in the first game, Vegas wins 5-0. In the second game, Vancouver scores 5 goals. Vancouver is not scoring 5 goals against Vegas again. It's not going to happen. And I like this game to be 3-2, 4-1, something along those lines. And so even if it ends up going, it's a 5-1 game or a 4-2 game because we get an empty netter late, we still push. So I'm going to take the under because I am definitely seeing this game going under more than I'm seeing go over. So that's Vancouver, Vegas Golden Knights under 6 goals. I like that one, and I'm going to put that on the card. All right. Those are all my NHL bets for the day. Like I said, I'm going through this one quick because a lot of this is what I've already talked about. I love betting against Matthew Boyd. I love taking the Yankees when they've lost 2 games in a row to the Mets. I loved every one of these NBA bets. That's why I already did them. I love the NHL bets. I've already done them. Like, I've already talked about all of these bets. So hopefully the games just actually go off today. But one thing I haven't talked about is college football. And college football is back, everybody. So get excited about that. Austin Peay in Central Arkansas. I don't care. I would watch anything. I mean, people were watching high school football last night that probably haven't watched high school football since they were in high school, and they might be 75 years old. Like, Football is back after everything that we've gone through this year and everything that's been up in the air. I don't think a lot of people actually expected us to get football back at any point this year. So we have it back. We are officially going to have at least one game of this college football season. I've said on this podcast, I'm a firm believer that things are going to end up finishing out. We're going to have a national champion. We're going to have a Super Bowl champion. I don't understand what the Big Ten is trying to prove right now. I don't get it at all. And it's like, oh, now we're thinking about playing in November. What are we doing? Either play or don't. Like, pick a side and just stick with it, or say, hey, we made a mistake and just come back and play. Like, I don't understand why it needs to be like so difficult. Either play or don't, and say it's good, or don't say it's good. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, it's funny to me. Like, I live in California. I'm not there now, but I live in California. And with the Pac-12, the governor just announced yesterday that every county in California essentially can start playing could start playing pro sports within like the next like 2 weeks, even though there's no fans. So it's like, well, what's the difference between pro and USC? I don't understand why we're not. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get what the purpose is. But look, at least the Pac-12 has just stood by whatever their decision was. If that's their decision, that's their decision. I don't understand what the Big Ten is doing right now. And at the end of the day, that means we're watching Central Arkansas take on the Austin Peay Governors. And I got to say, Austin Peay might have to change their name after this year, because I don't know if many people want to hear the word governor anymore. I mean, I feel like people have been more in tune with the governors in American politics this year than we've ever had at any other time. So it's very fitting that the Austin Peay Governors, just to remind us one more time about what's going on in our country, are playing in the first game of the college football season. They're taking on the Central Arkansas Bears. Now, I said on my website last night, I'm betting this game because it's college football and because it's back. I'm going to be completely honest with all of you. I don't know shit about either one of these teams. All I know is that Austin Peay has a running back who used to play for Ohio State. Right now, Austin Peay is underdogs. I'm going to take Austin Peay a +4. And this is one of those games where, look, I don't expect people. I am very much cautioning you. Do not tail me blindly on this one, but Austin Peay +4. It's the first game of the season. I don't think Vegas really knows what's going on, especially with an FCS game. They've never really had to deal with this type of situation before, where it's going to be the main attraction. An FCS game between Austin Peay and Central Arkansas is going to be the main attraction. Thank you, Frank Reyes, my boy, always killing the books. I hope so. I'm loving it. But the one bet I do like, and this is the one I did on my website, and this is the one that I feel like you should all bet if you're actually going to bet it. Austin Peay +4, I think, is probably fine. I don't know enough about the game, but the one thing I do know is that it has been a miserable 5 months. It has been absolutely terrible since the coronavirus came in. It has been a miserable 5 months. We weren't sure if we were going to get college football. We didn't know what was going to happen. And tonight, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch a college football team between two teams. I have no idea who they are, and I'm going to root for points. Why? Because I deserve to be able to root for points right now. After all the hell that we've been through in the last 5 months, just sit down, crack a beer, and watch this game and just root for points. So I'm taking the over on 45.5, because if this game ends up being 63-56, I want to sit there and enjoy every damn second of it. However, it could end up being one of those games where you sit down and you're like, oh my God, it's 10-3 in the fourth quarter. What's going on? It doesn't matter. College football is on, and it's much more fun to root for flow in game in the first game you're watching. It's not going to be fun if you're sitting there with any of your friends or just watching the game alone even, and you're sitting there frustrated because teams are scoring. That's not the way to welcome college football back. So I'm going to take the over at 45.5. It's been going up, guys, because I think everybody else has the same mentality as me. Don't know the teams, might as well take the over, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put that one on the card. It's college football season. We're back. It's going to be the weirdest season ever. I'm a University of Miami alum. Miami just said that there's not going to be any students at the first 2 games, but there are going to be fans in the stands for the first 2 games. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that means students can just go buy regular tickets. I have no idea. But all I know is it's going to be a weird college football season, but it is here, and we are going to watch players play college football tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. They're going to be on ESPN, not the NBA, not the NHL, not the MLB. Central Arkansas and Austin Peay will be on ESPN tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So sit down, enjoy it, bet the over, enjoy the game. Don't bet $100 on it or $1,000. Whatever your 1 unit bet is, bet 1 unit on this game just so you can make it a little bit more fun, and do it on the Austin Peay Central Arkansas over. Big card today. Like I said, a lot of these games were from other days, so that's why this card is so huge. But I'll run through it one more time. We got the Yankees plus 100, Twins minus 1.5 at plus 114. They're going against Matthew Boyd, our guy. I got Milwaukee, Orlando under 227.5, Vucevic over 23.5, Chris Paul over 20.5, PJ Tucker over 6.5, Melo over 17.5. In the NHL, I got the Canucks as just a field play. The number is just too big. You're going to be really happy if it hits. Again, like a 1 unit, 2 unit bet. You don't do much on this one, but just enough so that if they do win it, you win something. And if they lose, you're not really missing the money. Islanders minus 114, really like that one over the Flyers. And Vancouver, Vegas under 6 goals. Think it's definitely going under. And then we have our college football, Austin Peay, Central Arkansas over 45.5, and Austin Peay plus 4, because why the hell not? Look, those aren't the sharpest bets there in college football, but it's college football season. It's time to get back in on it. Nobody in America knows anything about these two teams except the coaches of Central Arkansas and Austin Peay. Let's not even try to pretend. So just sit back, enjoy it. And if you want to throw a 1 unit bet down, throw a 1 unit bet down and enjoy the game. That's all I got for today. I'm not sure if I'll be back tomorrow. I got to talk to Russell about it. We do have big plans coming up, though, with On the Card and some changes to what we're going to be doing. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully we can keep the hot streak going. I've hit 11 of my last 13 bets, and I threw Russell the freaking Cincinnati Reds yesterday just to throw on the Cincinnati Reds, and the Cincinnati Reds hit. Russell, I don't think, has lost a bet since he's walked into Reno, Nevada. So I'm just saying we're doing really, really well right now. Hopefully I can keep the hot streak going today, considering I have so many damn bets. If you like what you're hearing, go over to betonphilwood.com. Check that out. Go follow me on Twitter at PhilWood Jr. You can message me all the time. I'm pretty sure Frank has done just that. So anybody who else wants to, go ahead, do it, and I'll give you takes on any games that you might want to hear. Also, on a side note, rest in peace to Cliff Robinson. Really, really sad day. He's only 53 years old, former NBA All-Star, and he was on Survivor on one of the best seasons of the show ever. So it crosses over into both of the communities that I am a part of. And yeah, it's really sad news that he passed away at only 53 years old. Really, really sad. And, it's just, the community is just getting hit right now. So I feel bad for Cliff Robinson's family and all of that. And, it's a sad day for the Survivor community, but it's a sad day for the NBA community too. So just wanted to throw that one in there, but I'll see you probably tomorrow, maybe not till Monday. I got to talk to Russell about it, but I'll let you know. Follow me on Twitter to find out when I'm going to be going live and all of that, and enjoy all the games and enjoy college football tonight. And I will see you next time on the card.